So last week we saw something fascinating regarding woman's obligation in Kiddush. We asked, can a woman say Kiddush for a man? Make her a din. We're not getting into any politics and this and that and women's liberation. Forget any of that. Just pure halacha. And the postic has to take all other factors into account. But just in focus in a vacuum, the answer was for sure. She could say Kiddush. She's chayiv d'oraisa Kiddush, and the rule is whenever you have the same level, of chiyuv, then you could be motzi someone else and fulfill someone else's obligation. That's the general rule. So it's not man versus woman versus man. It's just do you have an equal level of chiyuv, and that's Allah in the Shulchan Aruch. Mishnah Berurah says that to do it maybe for another family, you have a family over, and this woman is doing for a man for that. It's not the right thing, but in terms of din, it is fine, and that would apply to hamotzi and any of that. So in some films, what they do, it technically it would be all right. You have other questions that have to be asked in terms of what's the motivation and this and that, but that's a separate discussion. Okay, a separate discussion. So the only thing I'll say about that is women's prayer groups and this and that. You have to just analyze, what the halachic factors are when a woman has her own group and doesn't have a minyan. She's giving out tefillah b'tzibor. She's giving out kriyas Torah because those things need a minyan of 10 men. So you have to always balance out, luckily, what's going on and the pros and the cons and the advantages. I don't like getting into what's the motivation. It just gets a little tricky. I know what they're thinking. It's not such a simple thing unless they openly say what the agenda is. But let's just look halachically at the pros and the cons of what's going on. Anyways, that was all we saw last week. Okay? And it brings up a fascinating topic over here in Hilchos Kiddush. So we saw that she technically could be motzi a man. Technically, we usually don't do it, but it's technically fine. She's obligated, he's obligated on equal playing field. Okay. And then he says the following. How v'chayavo v'lachein yechola lehotzi. So she could do it for a man. And then he says, wait a second. What happens if they already had their meal and then they're going to visit another house? They made early Shabbos and they're going to visit their friends. A couple's going to visit their friends. And the friend don't know how to say Kiddush. So now is a new question and a new term we're going to try to understand today. Can the woman say it for her friend, whether it's a couple, man or woman, just a woman, whatever it may be? She was already Yotze Kiddush. She doesn't have an obligation anymore. So she discharged her Chiv Kiddush. Can she now do it again? Okay. Can she? And the same question with the man. Okay. So can she or not? So we have a new topic, a new word. When a man goes ahead and says the bracha again for someone, Avi Lippman lanes Megillah at our shul, and then he lanes it a second, then a third time. And each time he says a bracha. How are you saying the bracha so many times? Avi, Rabbi Lippman, how are you doing that? Or the Chabbanik at the Kotel, we'll call him Zalman, who's going ahead and from 7 in the morning putting tefillin on, and many of the Jews there will make their own bracha. But that's and you just put the tefillin on me, Rabbi, and make the bracha. I don't know what to say, and I'll answer Amen. And Zalman, tzaddik from Chabad, 20 times he puts on tefillin and makes the bracha 20 times. So how is he doing it? There's one word answer. How's he doing it? How's he make the bracha again? How's Avilim making the bracha again? How is the Baal Tokeya, the shofar blower? Okay, so the last couple of years we have Barry Gluck. Anyone knows the Gluck family? So Barry, you have Hudis Landau, famous Camp Landau out here for those who may know, and then it's Rabbi Landau, his wife Yehudis, and her parents are the Glucks, and her brother is Barry Gluck. He's our Baal Tokeya for the last couple of years, star Baruch Hashem, and he makes the bracha once, and if someone else needs it after davening, he'll make the bracha again. So how are you making the bracha? It's beautiful, but like halachically, how does it work? It's very nice to do chesed and drive and give someone a lift and do this and do that's very nice, and it's nice to help people do mitzvahs. Be making a bracha. What halachically is allowing you to make a bracha again and again and again? So there's a word which you may have heard of. We're going to learn a little about this word. Anyone know what the word is? It starts with an ayin. And it's the same root. If you ever go ahead and someone is taking out a loan and they ask you to be a co-signer on the loan, So you are called an. So an aid is someone who testifies that the loan took place. You what?
Guarantor.
The guarantor in English, exactly, and in Hebrew you are an araiv. Ayin reish. So an araiv is a co-signer on a limb. You are binding yourself to that person. I caution anyone before they do that. Know if you are signing as a co-signer on a loan, it's not like there's a far-fetched possibility they're going to come after you. The chances are they're going to come after you, and you have to look at that money that you're signing on as gone. Is tzedakah different? Is that me or someone else?
Is it the same term?
Someone's phone. Is this?
Oh, no, it's not me.
Okay.
Is it the same term as a kasuba, where you have we have two people sign the kasuba?
No, that's so that's
not my phone.
That's a so no, ksuva is Aiden. That's Aiden. Ksuva is an aid is our Aiden, and this is a cosign. Now you should just know it's very nice shoes to chesed and all that. You should just know very often. The shul over 22 years in the beginning, for a few times we lent money and this and that, and they never got paid back by people. Never. Very often people who are in dire straits and they're desperate, I'm going to pay back, and maybe they mean to pay back, but and then if you co-sign, this you should know. If you read the fine print, let's say there's 3 people co-signing on a 6,000 shekel loan. Okay, so you're risking 2,000 shekel. No, you're not. You're risking 6,000. The fine print usually will say that we, the ones who are the loaners, the lenders, a gemach, we have the right to go after any one of the co-signers for everything. So you should just know that. I remember early days here 20 years ago, 3,000 shekel loan. I saw the people on it, and they came after me for 3,000 because the guy shockingly didn't pay up in time. And I said, why are you asking me for all of it? I said, nah, we saw your name on it. You have a good name. The other 2 guys, we didn't really have any faith in them. The other 2 co-signers, we knew we get all the money from you. I said, thank you so much. I love you too. Yeah. So, and if I had to pay, I signed, and it was my fault for not knowing that I'd be obligated for all of it. I didn't sign for a third of it. I signed, and each one signs for all of it. So just, I call it pain in the neck, but thank you for that legal term. What's it called? Joy, Dad? Wow. Okay. Well, I never knew the term, but I guess I now understand the legal part of it. Either way, just you should know. It's very good to be an RA, but know that you might just be giving the money away, and you should be prepared for that. Anyways, back to here. I don't know. I don't think so. It's Ayin Reish Beis. Interesting. Or Erev. Interesting. You have Erev, you have Arav. I don't know. We need to check out the etymology. Is it connected to Erev, evening? Yeah. Aravim is connected. The Chesed organization Aravim is connected. Yes, they were all bound to each other. Yeah, so Aravim is definitely, that's a similar term. It might be interesting if Erev is connected. Anyways, so now let's learn this term. It's a beautiful term. We've heard it before, Aravim. What does it mean exactly? So the Mishnah deals with this idea that do we say that a woman could go ahead and once she's Yotzei, she could do it again and again, just like a man. So we have the consequence of and it's one of the most beautiful terms in halachic literature. How does it work that this person is an Arav, and now Zalman at the Kotel says the bracha 30 times? What? Yeah, but so halachically, how does it work? She says Zalman, the holy Chabadnik Zalman, is an Arav to every Jew that comes by. That's what it means.
Because that Jew can't do himself.
He can't do it himself, and you're not going to believe the language. The Ran in Gemara Rosh Hashanah says something beautiful. He says that as long as John and Peter and Paul, whoever's coming over, the Jews, okay, they're coming over here, and John, never put tefillin on before, but he has a chiyuv to put tefillin on. As long as John has a chiyuv and he's passing by, and Zalman says, you put it on tefillin, he says, no, I didn't. You want to do it? Yeah, sure. Never put it on before. As long as John has a chiyuv, so the language of the Ran, if I remember correctly, is ki'ilu Lo yatsa hu dami. As long as John has a chiyuv tefillin, it's as if Zalman has a chiyuv tefillin. This is not just flowery language. This is explaining how Zalman is doing what? Making the bracha again and again. It's explaining how Barry Gluck is making the bracha again. Why? Ki'ilu lo tzadami. There's another, it's Reuben who's in bed at home, and he could have made it. And Barry Tzaddik goes to his home to help him out. So right now, with Reuben in bed, he has a chiyuv d'oraisa shofar. Oh, he has a chiyuv shofar? Barry has a chiyuv shofar. He has a chiyuv tefillin. Zalman has a chiyuv tefillin. Is that unbelievable? And he has a chiyuv Megillah. Avi Limon has a chiyuv Megillah again. So it's not just a nice flower. It's halacha. Halachically, is as if I have a chiyuv again and again and again. Another Jew has a chiyuv, I have a chiyuv. And that allows me to do what? Make a bracha. Wow. Isn't that profound? It's an amazing idea. Yes. Oh, so now we said last week, we're going to elaborate a little bit on Kiddush, and I want to introduce this beautiful concept of Koshel Reivim Zelazeh. We've heard the term. Many times you'll hear it in appeals for this organization, not for the Holy Chayalim, whatever it might be. You hear appeals that, Koshel Reivim, all brothers, and the language is totally appropriate to use in an appeal for the Chayalim, for the Jews here, for the Jews there, for the Jews down in the south, or out of their homes, or brothers, we need to help them out, etc. But just understand, it's not just a beautiful hashkafa that we're responsible, it's a halachically binding statement that he has a chiyuv, I have a chiyuv. It's amazing. Amazing. And the Mishnah Berurah throws around the possibility. He discusses in his commentary, Shahar Tziyun, we have the full kind of ravus by a woman just like a man. There's a whole discussion. But the Mishnah Berurah the Mishnah Berurah says what? ולכן יכולה להוציא אפילו היא כבר יצאה ידי קידוש כמו איש. The Mishnah Berurah up here on top says a raven applies to the woman just like it applies to a man. And if she has a chiyuv kiddush, and now her friend is over, she's at a friend's house who didn't make kiddush and doesn't know how to make kiddush, she has a chiyuv kiddush again. We have to change the Ran's language. Kamisha liyatsa he dami. It's as if she's not Yotzei because her friend isn't Yotzei the Kiddush. She's not Yotzei Kiddush. She's a Chiv Kiddush. Beautiful idea. How bound we are to each other. Amazing. And before I do Havdalah, there's the highest level of Ravus, highest level, different planet, is our holy, holy, holy Chayalim. I used to just put on my YouTube channel that I have put out, Divrei Torah, a minute or two of Torah every day, put out a few videos. The last few weeks, I changed the form. In addition to whatever daily Divrei Torah I send out, if I see something nice about Chayalim, I'm putting it out there as well, even though it's not my Torah, just beautiful stuff going on, but I think it's just so important to understand and appreciate what Hashem has given us, that we're living in a time, we have had pogroms. The only difference in the last 2,000 years pogroms and this recent one is that we could do something about it, in addition to davening. We always daven. Then we go to the President of America. Can you please help us? Can you please stop them from destroying 6 million Jews? I'm sorry, I'm a little busy. And the pictures from the planes about seeing the tracks and that we discovered afterwards, whatever reason, we can't rely on God. They may help us, they may not help. We don't know. We only have Jews, fellow Jews, that are going to give up their lives, not just help us. They will give up their lives so we can live here in Ramat Beit Shemesh. It's just different. It's a different league. So together with the tefillah, we have something else that we've never had before for 2,000 years. So the highest level of a raven is Chayalim, meaning what? Not just the ones to give up their lives for us, which is the highest level right there, but from a halachic standpoint. You go ahead, and a Chayal is going into the Milchama, and he sees his friend in trouble. And he's going to go to try to help him. But wait a second, you're under fire. There's a good chance you're going to go under. Now, normally, do I have to jump into the ocean? It's a storm out there, Hurricane Sandy, right? 15 years ago. Means a lot to me because the house I lived in, my grandmother's house, first got married on the beach. It was a beach house, gorgeous beach house, and it doesn't exist. There's just a plot of land there in Bell Harbor. There's only a few miles of beachfront property in the whole New York area. It's prime. It's just nothing. You go there, just an empty lot. Empty lot. It was taken away into the ocean for whatever reason. They never fixed it. You in there? Magnificent. On the beach. It doesn't exist. It's Allah Hashalom. It's crazy. So you go in and there's a storm, then you see someone's going under, and you have to go save them and risk your life. You don't. You don't have to. You don't have to. Where he's going under, now you're going to go under too. So that halacha of a Jew not having to risk his life for another Jew, he's a vadai going under. I'm a suffix. Maybe I could get out, maybe not. No, you don't have to do the suffix to help, even to help out someone who's definitely going under. The post can say that's all true. Stam citizens. Hayal, he says that Tzitz Eliezer, one of the greatest posts in the last half a century, says Hayal is guf echad. Hayalim is one guf. And therefore, it's not like, oh, I don't have to risk my life for him. No. It's one. Wow is right. And one thing, that is not a hashkafa, it's not a mushy statement, it's a halachic statement. That a hayalim is guf echad. And it's one group. And you're going to go in, you might lose your life. There's a good chance you're going to lose your life, but you have to help the others. Yeah, what?
That's what those girls said when they interviewed them on video. They said,
unbelievable. That's it. So it's unbelievable. And it's halachically a different league that they're in. It's amazing stuff. Yeah. Halachically, I don't have to go ahead and jump in the ocean when there's a good chance I'm going to go under.
We're all part of.
Yeah. So we use it as a nice, beautiful statement. But push come to shove, I don't have to risk my life.
So
I have to try. I have to save you if I know how to swim and you don't. But it's a storm out there. I might go under too. I don't have to. Maybe I'm allowed to. I don't have to.
what about a chayal for a citizen? Not for a chayal.
Yeah, good. If it's good, that's a great question. You have to see that Tzitz Eliezer inside, where if it's just him and another guy in the street, and if there's a terrorist shooting and a chayal getting involved, do we say once you have the halo shem chayal, the status chayal, that's it, it's a whole different status? Or do we say, no, that's when you're milchama. It's not the chayal per se, it's milchama that does. It's a great question. We have to look closely. Tzitz Eliezer at the end of the 13th volume in his Chuvas, we have to really go through it and see how the post can learn that idea. But anyways, so I thought we get to Havdalah too, but we have to start off in Mitzvah Hashem. I'll put the marks on Mitzvah Hashem. Next week we'll start off with Havdalah and how that, woman's role in Havdalah. It's a very, very important halacha. But let's just summarize for now. The big Kiddush of the day is Araivut. Okay, we have Araivut regarding Araiv, co-signing. We mentioned, just be careful about that topic. Know what you're getting yourself into. Then Araivim Zelazeh is a general hashkafa point that many, rabbis and laymen alike use to try to raise money for each other, for Jews, which is a legitimate term. We're all brothers. Halachically, what it means is that even if you did the mitzvah and you discharge your chiyuv, you could do it again and again to fulfill someone else's chiyuv. The Ran says, Kamisha lo yatsa hu dami, as long as he's chayiv, I'm chayiv. The chiddush of today's Mr. Brewer is that not a Kamisha lo yatsa hu, Kamisha lo yatsa he, that a woman that has an obligation in a mitzvah, according to Mr. Brewer, others argue that a woman has an obligation, and I am a woman, I discharge my obligation. No, I have an obligation now to say Kiddush for her and to do any other mitzvah that I have, that even though I discharge it, because I have that mitzvah upon me as well. And then the final level of Aravis, on the highest level, is the Chayal and the Chama, where the Tzitz Eliezer uses guf echad. There's no me, you. It's guf echad. And Bonnie's question is a great question. Not only in the actual Melchama, what about on the street? It's a great question. It has to be, requires further research. So it's an amazing topic of Arivut, and Yetz Hashem. We should keep feeling it, experience Arivut, and hopefully that's going to be, a segula for Am Yisrael to be blessed by Hashem.
What about a woman soul? Does she obligated also like a man to save another man?
Wow. Be well. Take care. Have a good day.
Amen. Thank you.
My pleasure. That